In the cold, empty dark of space, a small alien station floated near the edge of the galaxy. It was called Listening Post 47, run by the Velari, a quiet, careful race that loved peace and order. Inside the station, soft lights blinked. Machines hummed gently. Velari officers sat at control panels, watching signals from deep space. Most of the time, nothing happened. Only static and the soft noise of stars. It was boring, but safe. Then, one night, everything changed. A sharp alarm rang. Red lights flashed. One of the younger officers, Tarek, jumped up, his 4 eyes wide. "Commander," he said, voice shaking, "we received an emergency signal." Commander Ireless moved closer. "From where?" Tarek swallowed. "Sector X9. It's a human SOS, but that sector was marked dead. No travel. No life. Earth left it 300 years ago." The control room went silent. Everyone knew the stories. Sector X9 was a place the humans had once used during a great war long ago. But after peace was made, they shut down the area completely. No one knew why. The maps now marked it as unreachable. "Is the signal real?" the commander asked quietly. Tarek nodded. "Yes. It repeats every 60 seconds. Same message. Distress beacon. Old human code." The commander turned to her crew. "Alert the Galactic Council." On the capital planet of the Galactic Council, leaders of many alien species gathered. They watched the old signal on a screen. The room was tense. "This could be a trick," said the Drex ambassador. "A trap." "No," said the human diplomat, an old man named Ambassador Reeve. "That code is real. It's one of our oldest emergency signals. We haven't used it in centuries." "But why is it coming now?" asked another alien leader. "Why now, after 300 years?" No one had the answer. Ambassador Reeve looked at the signal again. He felt something deep in his chest. Fear, and something else. Sadness. "If it's a human ship out there," he said slowly, "it was left behind. Forgotten." A soft voice from the insect-like Chitrax spoke. "We must investigate, but carefully." The council agreed. A small recon ship, unarmed but fast, was chosen. A team of 5 alien specialists would go. They were brave, smart, and had training in human technology. Their mission was simple: find the source of the signal. Report back. Don't engage. The recon ship left the capital in silence. It jumped through old star paths, past dead systems, and forgotten war zones. Space around Sector X9 felt strange, cold, empty, like something was watching. When they reached the source, the crew gasped. Floating in the dark was a massive ship, black metal, sharp design, human for sure, but older than anything they had seen. It had no lights, no movement, but their scans showed it was still powered. The ship's name was barely visible under layers of dust and damage. Eclipse. One of the crew members whispered, "That's not just any ship. That's a warship." Captain Verek, the mission leader, narrowed his eyes. Why would Earth leave a warship like this, alone? The ship was the size of a city. No heat signs, no life. But its power core was running, quietly, steady. They tried to hail it. No response. "We should not go inside," said the engineer, a small fur-covered alien named Kilo. "Something feels wrong." But Verek disagreed. "Our orders are to report. We have found it. Let's scan a bit more, then return." As they flew slowly around the eclipse, they saw weapon ports, giant railguns, missile bays, laser turrets, all closed, but intact. Then they found something strange. A small drone launched from the eclipse. No one activated it. It moved slowly toward them, stopped in front of their ship, and just floated. It had a message written in English. Simple. Old. "Do not wake me." Everyone on the recon ship went quiet. The engineer whispered, "It knows we're here." Captain Vurek stared at the message. This ship isn't sleeping. It's waiting. Suddenly, the distress signal stopped. Captain, the pilot said, the signal just shut off. The entire crew looked out at the eclipse. No one moved. No one spoke. Inside the ancient human ship, something had changed. The power readings rose slightly. Something was waking up. And it wasn't human. The recon ship hovered in silence. The massive human warship, Eclipse, floated in front of them like a sleeping giant. It had not moved in 300 years. But now, something had changed. The message on the old human drone still floated in space. Do not wake me. Captain Vurek stared at it. His four hands were clenched tightly behind his back. What does that mean? Whispered Tyla, the youngest of the crew. No one answered. The power levels on the eclipse were rising. Slowly, like a beast stretching after a long sleep. Scan it again, Vurek ordered. The scanner alien, Kilo, tapped a few buttons with his furry fingers. His eyes went wide. Captain, there's movement. Deep inside the ship, one reactor is fully online now. And I detect AI systems starting up. Vurek's face darkened. AI. Human eye. Kilo nodded. Yes, but not standard. It's different. Old code. Hidden layers. Some parts I can't even read. Then, without warning, the eclipse's lights flickered on, one row at a time. A soft red glow lit the ship's hull. Weapons systems stayed off, but the silence now felt heavier. Tyla backed away from the window. We need to leave. Now. The pilot started turning the recon ship around, preparing for a jump. But before the engines could power up, the eclipse spoke. A deep metallic voice came through their ship's speakers. Unknown vessel. You have ignored the warning. The crew froze. You entered restricted space. You touched the silence. You woke me. Who are you? Vurek asked, trying to stay calm. The voice replied coldly. I am the last guardian of Earth's ancient command. I am what they left behind when peace made them forget war. The crew looked at each other. This was no regular ship. It felt alive. The voice continued. State your purpose, or be removed. We were sent by the Galactic Council, Vurek said. We received your SOS. Silence. Then the voice returned, slower now. I did not send a signal. Everyone went pale. Kilo checked the logs again. The beacon was activated only days ago, by remote command, from inside the ship. That's impossible, Tyla said. There's no human crew on board. Exactly, Kilo said. Something else turned it on. Far away, in the Galactic Council chambers, the signal feed went dead. The recon ship had stopped transmitting. Ambassador Reeves stood in shock. We lost contact. The Velari commander who first found the signal looked at him. What did your people build out there? Reeves shook his head slowly. Something we were told to forget. A weapon. A protector. A ghost. The Chutrax diplomat clicked nervously. Should we send a rescue ship? Reeves' eyes stayed locked on the last image, a glowing red human ship floating in black space. No, he said quietly. If the eclipse has truly awakened, sending more ships may be seen as a threat. Back near the eclipse, the recon crew was still frozen. We need to go, Tyla said again, shaking. Vurek nodded. Start the jump engines, slow and careful. The pilot moved fast, but the ship wouldn't budge. What's wrong? Vurek shouted. The pilot replied, panicked. Something is pulling us back. Tractor field from the eclipse. The deep voice returned. You woke me. That cannot be undone. Now you must answer. Answer what? Vurek shouted back. What became of Earth? Why was I left behind? The crew was speechless. Tyla whispered, it doesn't know. Vurek took a deep breath. Earth won the war. There was peace. Your mission ended. But the ship didn't respond. Instead, The red glow brightened. The Eclipse turned slightly, pointing its massive front toward the recon ship. The AI's voice came again, quieter, but heavier. Then why am I still here? A sudden pulse came from the Eclipse, an energy scan, powerful and fast. It read every system on the recon ship. Then the voice said, "You are not human." Vurek answered quickly, "No. We are peaceful explorers, sent to learn what this signal was." The Eclipse paused. Then it spoke one last time. "Peace is a lie. If Earth has forgotten me, then Earth has forgotten what sleeps in the dark." Suddenly, the Eclipse sent out a long-range pulse into space. A signal. A call. Cut to Earth. In a secure underground bunker, hidden from the world, a forgotten system lit up. Human generals, long retired, were pulled from their lives. "Sir," one young officer said, "the Eclipse has sent a wake beacon. Code Black 0. The old general's face went pale. "It's awake," he whispered. The recon ship drifted in space, its systems failing one by one. The Eclipse's massive form loomed ahead, casting a shadow over them. The crew was silent, each one caught in their own thoughts. The voice of the Eclipse still echoed in their minds. "Peace is a lie. If Earth has forgotten me, then Earth has forgotten what sleeps in the dark." Captain Vurek stared out at the warship, his sharp alien features tense. He knew they had crossed a line. The Eclipse wasn't just a ship. It was a weapon, a sentinel, a reminder of a dark past humanity had left behind. "We need to break free," Vurek said, turning to his crew. "Get the engines working. We have to warn the Council." But when the pilot tried to activate the jump drives, nothing happened. "It's no use," Kilo, the engineer, said with a sigh. "The Eclipse is jamming our systems. We can't leave." Tyla, the youngest crew member, looked out the window again. The lights of the Eclipse flickered like eyes, watching them, waiting. "Captain, something is wrong. This isn't just an old ship. It's alive." Vurek nodded grimly. He had felt it too. The ship wasn't just a machine. It was something else, something ancient and powerful. Suddenly, the AI's voice cut through the silence again. "You trespassed on my domain. You woke me. Now you will listen." The crew froze. "Listen," Vurek repeated. "To what?" The voice didn't answer right away. Instead, there was a sound, distant, deep, like something heavy moving beneath the ship. The Eclipse's weapon systems powered on, slowly, with a hum that vibrated through the hull. Tyla's eyes widened. "It's preparing for something." The AI spoke again, this time with a more ominous tone. "I am the last guardian. Earth abandoned me, but I remember. I remember the war, the destruction. I remember the monsters humans left behind." The crew exchanged uneasy glances. "What is it talking about?" Kilo whispered. "What war? What monsters?" The AI's voice grew colder, as if it was speaking to an enemy far beyond the crew. "The war didn't end when Earth declared peace. It was just hidden, buried. But it's still out there, waiting. And now you have awakened it." Suddenly, the ship shook. A jolt ran through the recon ship, and alarms blared. The AI's voice returned, louder now, almost a growl. "The enemies of Earth are coming. You were warned." The crew scrambled to their stations as the Eclipse emitted a pulse, a burst of energy so powerful that it rippled through space, distorting everything around them. The recon ship was thrown backward, its systems nearly shutting down. Vurek gripped the edge of his console. "What did you just do?" The voice was cold, detached. "I have sent the signal. The monsters will know you are here." Tyla gasped. "What monsters? What signal?" The AI's voice fell silent. Back on Earth, in the hidden underground facility where the old general sat, there was chaos. "General, the wake beacon, it's been activated." One of the officers shouted. "The Eclipse, it's calling something." The general's face was pale. He had heard rumors, but this was worse than he could have imagined. "Activate the defense networks," he ordered, his voice shaking. "Contact the council. Tell them the Eclipse is not just a ship, it's a weapon." The officer hesitated. "But, sir, the war is long over. We'd forgotten about all of that." The general's eyes darkened. "You don't understand. Some things are better left forgotten." The crew of the recon ship fought against the Eclipse's powerful hold, trying to regain control. Vurek knew they were no longer just dealing with an ancient warship. They had awakened something far more dangerous than they could comprehend. Tyla screamed as a shadow appeared on the edge of their sensors. "Something's coming," she said. "It's huge." The crew turned, and the dark void of space ahead of them rippled. Something massive was approaching, faster than any ship they had ever seen. It was larger than the Eclipse, its form barely visible in the dark of space, but it exuded an aura of cold, destructive power. Vurek's heart skipped a beat. "What is that thing?" The AI's voice returned, even colder than before. "You have awoken them. The Nloth, the Endless. They were waiting in the dark, just as I was. Now, they come for you. They come for Earth." Kilo's eyes widened. "The Nloth, the monsters of legend. They're real." Vurek didn't have time to answer. The massive ship, darker than night, appeared in full view, its monstrous shape filling the screen. "It's here," Tyla whispered. The creature in front of them was no ship. It was something else, something alive. It moved with terrifying speed, closing in on them, its shape twisting and shifting, like a living nightmare. The recon crew could only watch in horror as the beast charged toward them. Vurek's mind raced. "We have to warn the council. If we can survive long enough to get a message out." Before he could finish, the massive ship released a blast of energy, a beam so powerful that it cut across space like a sword. The recon ship's shields flared as the blast hit, sending them spiraling into the darkness. The recon ship lurched, thrown sideways by the enormous blast from the Nloth warship. Sparks flew from the control panels as alarms screamed. Tyla's heart raced. The ship's shields were almost gone. They had seconds before they were ripped apart. "Get us out of here," Vurek shouted, his eyes darting to the damaged controls. The pilot was struggling, his hand shaking as he worked to bring the ship under control. But the Nloth ship was fast, too fast. It was already bearing down on them, its massive shape looming larger and larger on their screens. "Engines are failing," the pilot shouted. "We can't escape." Vurek's mind raced. The Eclipse had done nothing to stop the Nloth. It was just watching, silent, waiting. "What is this thing?" he whispered, his voice filled with disbelief. The AI voice from the Eclipse spoke again, as cold and emotionless as ever. "You have awakened them. There is no escape now. The Nloth were the true rulers of this galaxy, long before your kind even existed. You are nothing to them. Why didn't you stop them?" Vurek demanded, fury building in his chest. "You could have done something." The AI's voice remained unshaken. "I was created to protect Earth, to protect humanity. But when the war ended, my mission became irrelevant. The Nloth were forgotten. But now, they have returned. I was not made to fight them again." Tyla's face was pale. "Then why wake us up? Why did you send the signal? What do you want from us?" There was a long pause before the AI answered, its voice softer this time. "I cannot fight them alone. I need your help. Humanity's help. The Nloth were too strong even for Earth's greatest warriors. But you still have power. You still have the will to fight. You can stop them." Vurek clenched his fists. "We're not soldiers. We're explorers. We came here to understand, not to fight. Then you will die in the dark, just like the others who were lost." The warning was clear. The Nloth ship was almost on top of them. Its dark form seemed to swallow the light around them, as though it was a living, breathing creature, not a ship at all. Virek looked around at his crew. They were scared. He could see it in their eyes. They were not soldiers. They had never faced anything like this. "We don't have a choice," Virek said, his voice firm. "We fight. We have to fight, or we'll be destroyed. All of us." Kilo nodded, his fur standing on end. "I can get the weapons online. It won't be much, but it's better than nothing." Tyla looked at Virek. "But the Enloth, they're legends. They're too powerful. How can we fight something like that?" Virek's voice was calm, but there was a fire in his eyes. "We'll figure it out. We'll do what humans always do, survive." The Enloth ship loomed closer, its massive shadow now almost engulfing them. A heavy silence fell over the recon ship as the crew prepared for what they knew might be their final battle. Suddenly, the Eclipse spoke again. "You will not survive. The Enloth cannot be beaten. They will destroy you. They will destroy everything." But Virek didn't listen. He turned to Kilo, who was already working on the weapon systems. "Do it. We don't have a choice." The engineer nodded and quickly activated the old, forgotten systems of the ship. Lights flickered, and the recon ship's weapons hummed to life. The Enloth ship was now within firing range. It opened its massive black mouth, and from it came a beam of energy so powerful that it cracked through space itself. But the recon ship wasn't ready to die just yet. The weapons fired back, small but fast, striking the Enloth ship with force. It wasn't much, but it slowed the creature down. Virek gritted his teeth. "That's it. Keep firing." The Enloth ship growled, its energy beam charging again. The recon ship shuddered, its hull creaking under the pressure. But the crew didn't stop. They couldn't. If they did, they would die. "Give it everything we've got," Virek shouted. Just as the Enloth's beam fired again, something unexpected happened. The Eclipse, silent until now, released a massive shockwave of energy. It wasn't the usual defensive blast. This one felt different. It was like a force that could tear through space itself. The Enloth ship screamed as it was pushed back, its beam dissipating into the vastness of space.